All right. Hello and welcome to the Educare DC virtual open house. Today is segment 3 of our mini series, All Moms Deserve to Be. So just for housekeeping purposes, this presentation is being recorded so that those moms and dads who could not come to the session today will still be able to access this valuable information that we will be sharing with you via our website, www.educaredc.org, and our YouTube channel, Educare DC. So I am Miss J. Fawn Hood. I am the recruitment specialist for Educare DC programs. I am the face behind your invitations and your reminders that have been hitting your inbox, but I'm also a member of the family engagement team here at Educare DC. I partner closely with our enrollment department to make sure that inquiring families like yourself are supported through the eligibility, selection, and enrollment process. We are so happy to have you here with us this afternoon, and we are excited to share with you meaningful information about our unique prenatal program. This program was designed to support expecting and new moms of the district from pregnancy to birth, to parenting, all the way up to enrollment into a high quality early learning program, just like what we have at Educare DC. So it is our intention to honor everyone's time and stick to the scheduled time allotment that we have. But more importantly, we want to provide you with helpful information that you can utilize or share out with your network of family and friends. With that being said, I kindly ask you to ask your questions in the chat box because we will be sure to answer them in a question and answer segment at the end of the presentation. This will allow our amazing presenters to honor you with getting all the information that they have prepared out to you so that you can make an informed decision for you and your family. So lastly, you might be interested to know that we are actively enrolling. So our team will be sharing with you also how you can start the enrollment process today. So without further delay, I'm going to turn it over to our prenatal manager, Miss Isba Barles. Isba, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Miss J. Fawn, for such a wonderful introduction, and thank you to everybody who could join us today so you could meet your prenatal program team members at Educare DC so that you can hear us talk a little bit about the history of our program, how it started, the ins and outs and details of what our program entails, and you can get acquainted with all of our faces. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and start with a little bit about the history of prenatal care within Early Head Start and Head Start services. So when most people think about Head Start and Early Head Start, they think about children, rightfully so, because Early Head Start is all about supporting what babies and families need to thrive, which is good health, strong and empowered families, and positive early learning experiences. So they think about infants, toddlers, and pre-K students toddling around and getting high quality early childhood experiences. What a lot of people don't know, though, is that Early Head Start also encompasses servicing pregnant moms. And the reason why that actually came to be was because way back in the day when Early Head Start first started, there was also research that started coming out a few decades later. And that research led to experts making conclusions that prenatal care and giving mothers support during pregnancy, especially those at risk and living in vulnerable communities, benefited a lot from the prenatal care and support, and they saw early childhood health and social, emotional, and cognitive outcomes end up being more positive. And that led to the Early Head Start Advisory Committee making a decision to expand Early Head Start services not only to children who are already born, so 6 weeks to 5 years old, but also expanding those services to expectant mothers. And the research also showed once Early Head Start did expand, and there was research being done on those Early Head Start programs that service pregnant moms, the conclusions came out to show that families who did enroll during pregnancy in Early Head Start showed a greater impact on breastfeeding rates. They saw those improved social, emotional, and cognitive outcomes in their children. We saw improved parenting behaviors, and parents felt more empowered and confident during those early parenting years when they do need that support for their children. So overall, those benefits were apparent. they were there. And so then, of course, that brings us to present day Educare DC and how we're encompassing prenatal care into our early Head Start programming. So for the last few years, Educare DC has been leading had been leading a informal pregnant mom and lactation support circle. And that provided a space for mothers, non-pregnant partners, and other family members to come together and provide a supportive, encouraging, empowering space for each other to share tips and ideas and advice, talk about their pregnancy journeys, get education and workshops and classes on breastfeeding and nutrition and tips for labor and delivery. Whatever topics that our moms wanted to see, they were getting that space and opportunity to talk about with their other fellow pregnant mothers or new mothers in that circle. The feedback that we were getting from that circle was that there was a need for community support. There was a need to create more spaces like this, especially in Ward 7 and Ward 8, where we see those high disparities in infant and maternal mortality outcomes and poor infant health outcomes. So we were getting that feedback from our families at Educare, and we were also seeing that corroborated with the data that was coming out from our local community needs assessments. So our needs assessments were also showing that in the greater community that Educare DC is located in, we were seeing that gap in prenatal service and prenatal care. There was a need for more spaces like these where mothers could come together and get that education, get those resources, get those referrals and comprehensive services to create healthy and empowering pregnancies for them and their families. So with all of that being taken into consideration, last year, Educare DC applied for an expansion of their Early Head Start grant to encompass the official and formal servicing of 24 pregnant and expectant mothers through our Early Head Start funding. And so that program is officially launched as of fall 2020. We are so excited, and that's why we're here today to talk about what this program entails and how we're so looking forward to answering what our community was saying that they needed to see. So the basis of our prenatal program at Educare DC, the curriculum that guides it is the Baby Talk curriculum. And this was chosen very intentionally because it's evidence-based and it's research-based. It also has a proven successful history of being used in early Head Start programs for many years. All of our team has been trained in Baby Talk curriculum, and not just our prenatal team, but our family engagement team as well, meaning that mothers that give birth to infants, mothers who are enrolled in our prenatal program, once they give birth and if they should choose to transition their infants to early Head Start, our family engagement team has also been trained in this curriculum. So we create that seamless, smooth transition of services from our prenatal program to once your child is in one of our early Head Start classrooms. We also chose this program because it's flexible to individuals. It's not rigid, it's not strict. It's really focused on working alongside our mothers, working alongside their partners and families and meeting them where they are so that we can help them meet the goals that they're setting for their pregnancies and for those early childhood years of their child's life. We also chose this curriculum because it empowers parents as key leaders in their child's life. And that's what Head Start is all about. We do have our wonderful and amazing teachers in our early Head Start classrooms, but we also have our parents. And what do we know? We know that our parents are their first and primary most important teachers in a child's life. And that's what Baby Talk continues to emphasize and implement throughout their curriculum. And that's what our staff has been trained in so that we can implement this same curriculum in our services to you as mothers. We also know that Baby Talk curriculum provides that very smooth, again, that smooth, comprehensive bridge from pregnancy to those early parenting years that you face with your child, whether it's your first or second child or third child. We know that those early parenting years can be stressful and not every child is the same. And it also continues on to once, should you choose your child to be enrolled in high quality infant toddler programming with Educare DC in either their early Head Start or Head Start classroom programming. So that brings us to a question that we get asked a lot, and that's what makes Educare DC's prenatal program very unique. Why should you choose our prenatal program to service you? And there's a few points that we say to that and we always emphasize. One of the biggest benefits of our program is, other than the fact that it is no cost to you and it is completely free, all services are completely free. The second biggest benefit is that mothers can stay enrolled with us up until 12 months post-birth. So that means we give all of our enrolled mothers a year to plan for a smooth and seamless transition for their child, meaning we do not just leave our mothers after their program with no resources in place, no structure in place where they don't know what next steps to take for their child's care. We want to give our mothers ample time to work with our team, which is comprehensive in nature, to give that support during those early parenting months, so that we give our mothers that ample time to then leave our program feeling supported, feeling empowered, and knowing what to do for those next steps and for those next few years of their child's life up until they're ready to start kindergarten. The second benefit of our program is that families get into our early Head Start pipeline as early as possible. And that's an amazing benefit because, again, going back to the research that I was speaking to earlier, it's been shown that the earlier families start in early Head Start, meaning during pregnancy, the greater those benefits are, because our families are getting a lot more face time with so much supportive and comprehensive services at Educare or whatever grant they're working in for early Head Start or Head Start services. So the longer our families are with our program, the greater the benefits they experience when it comes to working with our comprehensive services and support team. And again, they get to stay with our program, meaning our infants and our mothers get to see the same faces literally from birth all the way up until 5 years old. And infants can start enrolling in our early Head Start classroom as early as 6 weeks old, which is super exciting because our families feel supported literally through the entire spectrum from pregnancy to early childhood. So again, to reiterate what all the points are, our families, by enrolling in this program, and our mothers get that seamless, comprehensive, and smooth, high-quality support for the entire spectrum of their pregnancy journeys and into those early childhood years, which are so fun, so unique to every child, and our parents really, really benefit from the support and empowerment that they get. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to one of our amazing perinatal engagement coordinators, Miss Jasmine Ajay, to talk about the 4 main mantras that we have in our program and how each mother in our program will hopefully leave our program feeling and meeting each of these goals that we have set for them.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Isra, for that beautiful summation of our prenatal program, as well as that astonishing introduction. So welcome to all of you to our first virtual townhouse for our prenatal program here at Educare DC and IDEA. We're so excited to have you, and we're going to jump right into what are the 4 components of our programs that we stand on. So our first mom mantra, which is I am healthy, is one of many. So we have 4 aims within our program. The first being mothers to be healthy, the second for them to be empowered, for them to be mindful, and then of course for them to be informed. So starting with the healthy mantra within our program, our number 1 offering for this status is for that you guys to have access to comprehensive health services. So our team is composed of amazing people who have been working in their field with it for many years and who are ready and passionate to work with you. So when you see the word comprehensive health services, that's just a really big word for a lot of people who are working together to support you, to support your baby, and most importantly, to support your family circle. So as a part of those comprehensive services, we offer free nutrition and mental health consultation sessions to all of our members that are a part of the prenatal program. These are registered dietitians, and nutritionists and psychologists, board certified. And you also have that mental health team as well, and professionals who are there to assist you throughout the entire process. Also, we look forward to ensuring that all of our members of the prenatal program have access to health insurance and care in case you don't have your own. And even if you do have your own, we'll be able to put you in contact with different resources throughout the community that are free or low cost that can supplement the care that you already have. Secondly, an aim that's extremely important within this I am healthy mantra is to conduct a newborn visit within the first 2 weeks of birth for your baby. Now, the reason that's so important. And it's such a stark, time frame. A lot of people are thinking 2 weeks. Wait, honey, my baby she just came out the womb. We need a minute. Like, can we get a minute before we introduce her into the bacteriums of the world? And let me tell you why it's so important for us to do that within that first 2-week period. A lot of infants and mothers, whether they're new parents or having other children, it's so important that we're able to come in early to make sure you have all the support and the resources that you need to have a successful birth and have a successful parenting afterwards. So just to give you a little background and what statistics have shown in terms of early intervention, when it comes to the DC and metropolitan area, something that's extremely prevalent in that area, something called sudden infant death syndrome, which is also in the SIDS. So the SIDS movement, about when it comes to African American babies in particular, they actually have a 2 to 3 times greater risk of dying from sudden infant death syndrome than Caucasian babies do. And especially within the metropolitan area, the infant mortality rate is 15 deaths per 1,000 births, which means that is twice the national average of 7.1. So in the region as a whole, Washington, D.C. and that metropolitan area has a really high incidence rate of sudden infant death syndrome. So we've said, okay, we're seeing that, there's being a lot of issues with children. What's missing? And we found the component that was missing were home visits, people being able to go to the home, professionals and healthcare professionals being able to go to the home, social work professionals being able to go to the home and talk to the mother, talk to the families about safe sleeping practices, about burping the baby, about all of these different things to help prevent these fatalities. So that is one of the services that are offered under the I Am Healthy mantra. And then lastly, when it comes to prohibiting and creating a healthy environment, we do want to promote healthy behaviors for the mom, for the family, as well as non-pregnant partners, which is why Educare DC and IDEA has a collaboration with Uber Health so that we can provide free transportation to and from all of your health-related appointments. So that's a major benefit, and that just goes to show how we're willing and ready to take the extra mile to make sure that you and baby are healthy. So moving right along into our second mom mantra, number 2, which is I am empowered. So empowerment is an extremely important characteristic of our program. And through that empowerment, we start with having those one-on-one individual sessions with your prenatal and perinatal engagement experts, such as myself and another colleague. And the purpose of that session is really so you have the opportunity to ask any and all questions so that we can direct you to resources, make sure that you're moving along steadily, and just make sure that you're in a good space. Secondly, we do offer group sessions with your other expectant mothers within the cohort. And what we found as to why this is extremely important, especially with our program being built on the lactation support services and breastfeeding classes, we found that when mothers are in an environment with other expecting mothers, that helps them feel more comfortable, that helps them feel that they can be more empowered and be a professional with being a parent. So this is a great way for you guys to come together and share with people that are in the same position as you and have that support system outside of us as your experts as well. Also, you will have support from your pregnancy to your birth, to the parenting process, all the way up into child care enrollment. As Isma mentioned, you do have that full year to enroll into a Head Start program. So we are with you from the time the baby is in womb all the way until the time that you have given birth and are ready to start within that Head Start process. And lastly, within that I Am Healthy initiative, we want to be definitely inclusive, and we're extremely intentional about including your non-pregnant partners and your fathers, your grandmothers, your aunties. We understand that it takes a village to raise a child. So we are willing and we're super excited to make sure that your family can also be incorporated in the process to make sure that that child is coming into a strong and firm foundation. So moving right along to mom mantra number 3. So this mom mantra is I am mindful. So mindfulness, right? It's this whole new concept that came about in the 2020/early 2021 arena because, with COVID and the pandemic and everyone having to stay at home, people really started focusing more on mental health, right? There was this huge light that was shown on mental health and the importance of mindfulness, people being able to take a minute being away from work, it's a lot of stressors that can create a family, that can be placed on a family, that can also affect your pregnancy negatively. So with this component of our program, we strongly believe that mindfulness is extremely important, and it pretty much encompasses different breathing methods, guided imagery, and then other practices that helps you relax your body, which also helps to reduce stress. Now, some of the major benefits of mindfulness actually include improving your sleep quality. It includes helping to manage chronic pain. It lowers your blood pressure. It also supports your working memory. So if you're ever like, where are my car keys? And they're in your hand, or like, where are my shades? And they're on your head. Number one, eat some blueberries. But number two, do a mindfulness activity, because that can definitely help your working memory. Additionally, another benefit of mindfulness includes boosting your immunity. As a new mother, new baby, it's extremely important that your immunity and your immune system is built up to counteract all of those outside bacteriums, because we are in COVID season, so watch that. And then lastly, mindfulness does also help to improve your relationship satisfaction, whether that's with your non-pregnant partner, your family members, or your coworkers. This can also help you to improve that working relationship as well. So that is one of the components of our program. And then the last component of our program, which is our mom mantra number 4, is I am informed. So with all of the resources that we're offering, we want to make sure that we're providing the opportunity for our mothers and our prenatal program participants to feel that they are truly informed, to feel that they know about the resources that are in their local communities. And this component is extremely important to me as well, because I think back to when I was growing up. So I'm originally from Miami, Florida, and I grew up to a single parent mom. My mom had 6 kids, and we immigrated from the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, and then we came to Miami. And I just remember growing up in an extremely impoverished area that was drug-ridden, below the income levels. And I just think back, like, if this program was in existence when my mom was struggling to raise 6 children, how much better off we would have been, how much easier it would have been on her to have these resources and to have this support. I can only imagine how much of a relief that would have been to my mom. So that just goes to show how important this program is and the scope. I think this program, and in terms of being informed and having access to resources, that is literally the difference between a person becoming a product of their community to that same person thriving in that exact same community. So being informed is extremely important to us. So our ways and our means of informing our program participants is that we offer free prenatal and postnatal classes. So you do have virtual and in-person opportunities to attend once our building and our school is opened after May. And then also those classes range from a variety of topics, from safe sleeping practices to lactation support, all the way to prenatal care, mental health, mom health, any and anything that you can need to have a successful birth, pregnancy, and parenting. It will be offered within those core sessions. Secondly, we strongly believe in advocacy. We believe that our parents are the professionals when it comes to their parents. You know your body, you know your child, and you are the number one professional when it comes to you and your child. So we believe in providing advocacy tools for you and your baby. I'm sure most people have heard about instances where people will, or you might have even experienced this, because I've experienced this, where you might go to the hospital or you go to the doctor and you say, this is my pain level, and you say it's a 7, and they say, but you don't look that in pain, I'll mark you as a 3. Or if you say, this is what I'm experiencing, can we look into this? And then the doctor tells you, no, let's rule that out. This happens a lot when it comes to patients and pregnant women. And it's important for pregnant women to have those advocacy tools to be able to demand certain services and demand certain things are paid attention to, so that you can have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. And that's what we do within our evidence-based practices. That's why we utilize the Baby Talk curriculum, to make sure that you have the advocacy tools necessary to advocate for you and your baby. And then lastly, when it comes to being informed, remember, you have that group of a comprehensive services support team that includes your nutrition, your mental health, as well as your perinatal engagement coordinators to assist you along the process. So we are hand in hand, we're coming alongside of you, we're doing it with you so that you don't have to do it alone. So those are just some of the 4 pillars of our program when it comes to being healthy. Number 1, number 2, being informed, number 3, being mindful, and then number 4, being empowered. So that is the goal of our program. And I'm gonna move it on over to our perinatal engagement coordinator number 2, Mrs. Kelsey Barr.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm the new prenatal here at Educare Idea DC. I chose to work for this program because I'm aware of the struggles young mothers face during and after pregnancy. This program offers an array of services such as lactation, mental health, prenatal and postnatal care. This program allows for mothers to become self-sufficient and also to enroll their mothers into Head Start. Overall, this program will help this generation and many generations to come. As I mentioned earlier, I'm aware of the struggles that mothers go through when becoming a young mother. I had a child young, and this program would have been great if I knew about it. It would have helped me out with many resources that I didn't know of, as far as like breastfeeding. You know, as a young mother, you don't know of many things as well. And then just the mental health as well. As a young mother, you develop post-traumatic stress disorder, you know, and you have to learn to deal with different barriers along the way. So this has been a great program, you know, if I went a while ago, and to help the mothers also in our community as well. How to enroll. What we need from you as an applicant. Your application. Your application, for one, you'll be working with Jasmine and Jay and myself one-on-one to do the applications. Your supporting documents, ID, you know, Social Security, birth certificate, your commitment to quality and prenatal care, and to your child and family. We're here to help. We're here to support you along the way. We're here to guide you. You know, any answers that you may have questions or need, we're here to help you along the way and make sure that, you know, we serve you the best way possible to help you become a successful mother and be able to, you know, nurture your child along the way. Please spread the word to become a part of our community with the prenatal program. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming. And I will hand it off to my colleague, Jay Fawn.
Jay Fawn, do you have any questions coming in through chat or email that the prenatal team?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We do have a few questions coming in, but if I can backtrack real quick, because we did it on the last session, and I don't want any session to ever be missing out on valuable information. Ms. Isba, can you demonstrate how the QR codes work for enrolling for our savvy moms out there, how we have simplified the enrollment process and how to access our information? I would love for you to demonstrate that for us.
Absolutely. It is as easy as taking your smartphone or any other device with some kind of camera connected to an internet, and you take your camera, open your camera app, and as if you're taking a picture, you're not going to take the picture, you're just going to take your phone to the screen, and this little QR code here where it says enroll here with the blue arrow, you're going to put your camera right on that, and it should open up a link to Educare, the Educare Prenatal Program enrollment site. So I'm going to do that right now. It opens up a little QR link to an URL, and this is what should pop up on your phone. And this takes you to our prenatal program homepage. You're going to scroll all the way down, and you're going to see 2 buttons at the bottom. One is the prenatal enrollment application, and one is the prenatal enrollment checklist. So that application is what you're going to click on to fill out the application, and the checklist is just a list of supporting documents that you'll need just so you can make sure that you are fully prepared to have all of your documents ready to go once you are filling out your application. And then of course there's a phone number and email so you can contact a member of our enrollment team directly, and they would be absolutely happy and enthusiastic to walk you through the application, answer any questions, and do any intake that they need to do.
Wonderful. That was so helpful. Thank you, Ms. Isba. So let's get into some of these burning questions. So the first one I have here is, what do the first 30 days in the prenatal program look like for each mom?
That is a very good question. So your first 30 days as a prenatal program applicant are going to be very exciting, very fun. The first thing that you're going to get to do is meet your perinatal engagement coordinator. So as a mom, you're either going to get matched with either Miss Kelsey or Miss Jasmine, and your very first meeting will be with them, just one-on-one, face-to-face, so you can start building a relationship with them. And that relationship with your perinatal engagement coordinator is going to be your guiding rock for the rest of your time in the prenatal program, because they are going to be there to work with you, to give any resources, referrals, to be that listening ear as you go through your journey, all of that. From then on, you're going to have a series of one-on-ones with, like Miss Jasmine mentioned, our nutrition consultant, so we can holistically assess your nutrition needs during your pregnancy journey. You're also going to get to meet one-on-one with our mental health team, because we know that mental health during pregnancy looks so different. There's so many emotions that come up, and our mental health team is going to be there to assess any needs or concerns that you might have that might be coming up during your pregnancy. You'll also get to be a part of our program evaluation with our local evaluation partner, the University of Maryland. So you're going to get to be meeting a lot of different faces, and it's going to be very exciting. But remember that the main primary person that's going to be your go-to is our perinatal engagement coordinator. And the reason that we have all of that happening within your first 30 days, it sounds like a lot, but it's for a reason. And the reason is that we want to, as soon as you're in our program, get to assess you holistically as a mom, as a woman, as a mother. What are your needs during pregnancy, and how can we meet you where you're at, and what goals are you going to set that we can help you with reaching? So that's going to be your first 30 days, and you'll also get to meet the rest of your cohort of the expectant mothers that are going to be alongside you in your journey. So it's going to be getting introduced to your community at Educare DC.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for that. That painted a really good picture. So the next one, this is, I think, a burning question that most people have for any programming at this point. What does programming look like during the pandemic, during COVID-19?
Yeah, another really great and common question that we're getting a lot. And right now, all programming is going to be virtual. So everything is going to be held via Zoom or over the phone if accessing Zoom is more difficult. So whatever method of communication works for you as a mom, our coordinators and our team, again, will meet you where you're at. But we want our moms to be safe and healthy and social distancing during this time of the pandemic. So until we are in the clear and good to go, we are going to have all programming be virtual for the time being.
Okay, another one came through. Do I have to pay for this program, or are there any charges to participate in this program?
Simple answer, absolutely not. It is completely free and of no cost to you.
Simple enough. So I'll take a stab at this one. If I have another child if I have another child, can they be in the program as well? And the answer is absolutely, of course. We are a family-centric program. So if you have a baby in utero, we have prenatal program for you. If you have a infant or a toddler at home from 6 weeks already to 1, 2, early 3, then we have our EHS program, which is available. We have 72 seats at our Educare DC Parkside location, and an additional 80. We are so excited about this. 80 seats coming available at our Educare DC IDEA location, coming available in May. And then also we have our pre-K 3 and 4 in preparation for our children that will be transitioning into kindergarten in the years to come. So absolutely, we are here to service. We are a robust program, and it is our goal and our hope that we can provide a high quality learning experience for the entire family. So absolutely, bring everyone on. Oh, I have another one here. How often will I have to be on site or attend meetings for the program?
Another very good question. So like I said before, during COVID, everything is going to be virtual. So you will not have to be on site. The only thing you'll have to swing by on site for is to pick up your welcome bag full of goodies for our moms. That's the only time, and you can swing by and you don't have to be near anyone. You just have to, your only obligation is to come and pick up your bag of goodies. Other than that, no need to come on site. And to answer the second part of that question, in terms of time commitment and meetings, you will be meeting with your perinatal engagement coordinators at a minimum of twice a month. And of course, they're there to meet with you more if you need it. And there will also be 2 group sessions a month, so that opportunity for socializations with your fellow cohort and classes and workshops. So there's going to be 2 instances of those a month, in addition to that minimum of 2 meetings with your perinatal engagement coordinators, just so they can keep up to tabs with what's going on and so that they can support you in the best way possible.
Okay, so an extension question kind of came bridging off of that. I don't have Wi-Fi. Can I still be a part of the program?
Absolutely. And that's another very good question. And again, it speaks to one of the tenets that we try to encompass at Educare as a whole, and especially in the prenatal program with the Baby Talk curriculum, which is meeting our families where they're at. So if you don't have Wi-Fi, but you have a phone, then we'll happily be able to, communicate with you via phone, or if there's another method that you prefer, as long as we are in touch with you somehow, that's all that matters. And our team will work with you to individualize the services that we give you in whatever form is easiest for you and appropriate for your circumstances. So you will not be barred from enrollment if you don't have access to Wi-Fi.
Awesome. So yes, no pregnant mom left behind. Okay. We will work it out. That's what we do at Educare DC. We work it out. Okay. We break down barriers. So don't you worry about it. You just do your part and you enroll, and we will take care of the rest. So I have one final question. Can I get help with food for the baby?
Kelsey, I'm going to hand this one off to you.
Yes, you can get food, help for food for the baby. We have many resources that allows mothers to get fresh fruit and even groceries after they're pregnant and while they're pregnant as well. So yes, you can. That's a great question.
And one of the first things that we will be assessing for each of our moms is your enrollment for WIC. So chances are, if you qualify for our early Head Start programming and our prenatal program enrollment criteria, then you probably qualify for WIC as well. And we have a partnership with them. And so if you aren't already signed up and you qualify, then you can bet that we will get you linked with WIC and get you the access that you need to address your food needs for you and your baby.
Excellent. Well, those were some really great questions. I'm so glad that we were able to answer them today. That's all we have for the Q&A section. So with that being said, ladies of prenatal, did you have anything else you wanted to discuss?
None at this time. We're just very excited to welcome our first cohort of mothers to come through our virtual doors, and then eventually through our physical doors when we open up at the IDEA location, which I think is a good segue for you, Ms. J. Fawn, to wrap this up.
Sounds good. Well, wow, I am overjoyed with what an amazing presentation. Thank you, ladies of prenatal. You really brought it home. So that was awesome. So before we leave today, I wanted to plant a few seeds. So please oblige me with a few more moments of your time. The first being, we have some amazing topics to share with you on our upcoming segments. So we still have some segments to go of our 5-part mini-series virtual open house. So I hope that you will visit our Eventbrite page and click on the links to enroll for our remaining segments. They are on your screen right now. So this week, because we did 2 this week, we had 2 hitters. So this week on Thursday, February the 23rd, we have February 25th, let me back that up, Building the Future Through Proper Nutrition. And that is going to be presented by our Director of Comprehensive Health Services, as well as our nutrition consultant, Ms. Sue. So they have prepared a fabulous presentation. I got to take a sneak peek of that. I'm really excited. And they're going to talk about Educare best practices around encouraging and incorporating good, healthy eating habits into our early learning program. Also, if you have a child that has special dietary restrictions or eating habits, then this is going to be the presentation for you, because they're going to be answering those specific questions, but also elaborating on how we address that as well, through our best practices, our menu plans, our menus, our feeding schedules, all of those things. So I really would love for you to tune in. And then next week, we have a really dynamic conversation about the power of inclusion and mental health. So that's going to touch on, again, Educare's best practices on providing an inclusive learning environment for all learning styles, but then also some success stories on how we've been able to meet that mission and making sure that there are no learners that go untouched when it comes to Educare DC. That's something that's really passionate for us. So you can tune in for that on Tuesday, March the 2nd next week. So please reserve your seat for that. And then you may have met our lovely ladies of Enrollment last week. They're going to come back for a bonus segment on Saturday, March 13th. They are dedicating the Saturday, y'all, to provide one-on-one 15-minute segments for application support, document retrieval. Maybe you don't know where to find these documents that we're asking of you. They're going to provide that, and then scheduling your intake interview. So that way we provide seamless support for you to make this process as easy as possible. So then you can eliminate that and just focus on the amazing learning experience that you're going to be able to give your child access to just by enrolling in our program. We'll take care of the rest. We are here for it. That's what we do. We make things work. So we are encouraging you to take those steps. Come out on Saturday, March 13th. Let our enrollment team do what they love to do, support you in simplifying this process so we can get ready for an amazing fall school year. And then also for our ideal location, if you didn't know, that we're opening in May. So you can get a head start on those 80 seats that we have available for our infant and toddler 0 to 3. And then also you get to meet the lovely ladies once again of Prenatal. And we can go ahead and start that care from inside the room. And what do we call that, ladies? Utero. Okay, I'm learning so much through these ladies. It's amazing. Lastly, I've been mentioning our new location, Educare DC Idea. Well, we are having a Get to Know Educare Town Hall info session just about this location. What is going to be our opening date? What is going to be the educational format that we're going to be launching? At Educare DC Parkside, we are in a hybrid. So we have 20% of about 25% of our student population that parents are essential workers, they're on site. And then the other 75% are experiencing our amazing virtual remote education program. But we don't know with Educare DC Idea exactly what we're going to do. So on March 11th, that is our deliverable. We are going to be providing those answers, learning format, also, the exact opening date in May, and all the other questions, answers to the questions that you might have about our new location. We're really, really excited about that. So we provided a link in the chat box so that way you can reserve your seat, get your personal invitation to attend that town hall. If you cannot access the chat box, pretty simple. Just send us an email at enroll@educaredc.org. Again, that is enroll@educaredc.org. And in the subject box, you can just put Educare DC Idea and just let us know simply you want to reserve your seat for the Get to Know Educare Town Hall session on March 11th, and we will send you that Zoom link. We are so excited to have you. So with that being said, thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us and learning all about our unique prenatal program. We look forward to enrolling you. We look forward to embracing you into the Educare DC family. And we hope that you have a positively powerful, purposeful remaining of your day. Thank you, and bye-bye.